Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner and I'm living in Cape Town in South Africa. For those of you that are, subscribed to my channel or that often visit, thank you for it, by the way. You know that I upload weekly tarot readings, but before, like I did some yesterday, and before I start doing readings for today, I thought that I just want to speak to you guys about the current ascension that we are busy going through as a whole, as a humanity, from 3D to 5D. Okay. Now, I know that a lot of us were quite excited about this. Some of you may understand what I'm talking about, and some of you may not understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Um, I'm not going to give too many explanations on this video. Maybe I'll make some others about that. But for now, for those of you that are familiar with the ascension, we are literally moving from 3D to 5D. So we are moving from a fear mentality and into a more, I would say, enlightened mentality. Okay. And the coronavirus that's going around at the moment, if you really think about it, when is the last time that as humanity as a whole, all human beings, all over planet Earth, faced the same sort of situation, same sort of threat, same kind of thing that could potentially, take out maybe not all of us, because I believe that humanity will always survive, but a lot of us, it can have a lot of sadness. Um, and I don't want this. I did put up a post on my Ancient Great Life Facebook page. Maybe I'll put a link down below, because it's like, as humans, we are really in denial as to what is happening at the moment. And I'm not even talking about the ascension from 3D to 5D. Um, Let me actually park there just for a moment. And if there's any sort of banging or drilling or whatever happening, my neighbors are renovating, but I'm just going to continue talking in any case. So let's just park the 3D to 5D for just a minute or two, and let's just talk about what's happening at the moment. Because I live in Cape Town in South Africa, in Sea Point, which is beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful parts of the world. Okay, very close to Table Mountain and the coast, and it looks very much like Malibu, and it's lovely. Okay, anyway, not the point. But there is 2 days ago, the South African president, addressed the nation, explained that the situation is really serious, and many people are kind of getting how serious it is, and a lot of people are not. There are a couple of coffee shops and restaurants and very beautiful places, literally across the road and down the road and up the road, well, everywhere around me. People are hanging out. They're hanging out. Amigos are having coffee. They're having nice last little dinners. Like, what is wrong with y'all? You know? And then obviously others that, and I totally understand that you don't want to buy into the fear mentality, because whatever if you focus on is what becomes more. And I'm not afraid. And I used to, until very recently, I did tarot readings, tarot and oracle card readings at this beautiful wellness shop on the V&A waterfront here in Cape Town, in South Africa. I didn't stop because of the coronavirus. There were other reasons why I stopped going there. But sometimes your time is just up. And I also believe that life takes you away from where it is that you need to go towards and where it is that you need to move from when you put your faith in life. But as a human consciousness, like, and I've heard some younger people say this, and it breaks my heart that, if I do get corona, then, I'll be put in quarantine and I'll be fine. But it's time for us to realize that there is a bigger responsibility that we have towards all humans, that we are all one, that the disease that you may pick up at the restaurant or the nightclub or wherever it is that you're going, that you don't need to be going to, that you can pass it on to an older person, you can pass it on to an HIV positive person, you can pass it on to a person whose immune system is not that strong, and that person, as a direct result of your irresponsibility, can die. And until we as humans can collectively begin to understand that it only makes sense for us to work together. We are really, really selfish. We call ourselves as enlightened beings and this, so clever. And I know I made a video about it the other day as well. I'll making a mind note to remember to put the link in for you below. But we don't understand that it makes sense for us to pull together in a time like this instead of pulling apart. All right. Yes, I understand that a lot of us are buying, products in the shop, and it's become a little bit of a joke, and we make all these memes about it, and probably around the world as well. But in South Africa, there's a lot of people that's making a lot of stupid songs about it because now's the time to capitalize on things. We are stupid. We are absolutely stupid. As a human consciousness, we are stupid and we are ignorant because we don't accept that many of us are not even open to the idea that in times like these, instead of pulling apart, it makes 100% sense to come together. Now, I understand that many people listening to this may have children, have dependents, that you want to look after your kids, you want to look after your animals. I understand that. And I can have appreciation for that. But here's the simple thing. With us, for example, in South Africa, we're still very happy because it's very warm weather. But as I said in Game of Thrones, people, winter's coming. This thing is going to thrive in winter. Okay? Like any virus, it will build resistance to the current treatments that we have. And so while some of us are running away from, quarantine once we know that we've been infected, and while some of us feel that we're going to buy absolutely everything in the store because we can afford it, and screw the rest. The bottom line is, and I've really, as a psychic medium, I can really feel other people's emotions a lot. Okay, and the anxiety that I've been picking up on others, it's been difficult. It's been hard to sleep sometimes. And I really feel that as a collective consciousness, it's time for us to wake up. I mean, look at what happened to Italy. The whole country is in a complete lockdown because, there were people that were having a flippant um, attitude about what was happening. Let's learn from each other, okay? Because here's the thing, you can self quarantine yourself in your home, okay? Wherever you are, it doesn't just have to be South Africa, wherever you are. You can self quarantine, you can buy all the stocks, but here's the simple thing. If the fear, which is really hatred, which is the opposite of love, because we're pulling apart instead of pulling together, if it gets out of hand, it doesn't matter where you stay. You can have the most humble, in between, regular, privileged pavement. Some of the visions I had were not pretty, and this is why I feel it's my responsibility as a psychic medium, as a holistic wellness practitioner who is focused on sharing love. As a Reiki master, these things are serious. When I took these, agreements, oaths, responsibilities, whatever you want to call them, I stepped into service to serve the greatest humanity of the world. And this is the thing. People will die. A lot of them will die if we don't wake up and smell the actual coffee. Okay? Moving from 3D to 5D. So 3D, which is for those of you that might not know, is the more general way of that we have in the world, that we kind of know the world. This is mine, that is yours, separation. We are not all one, we are all separate. This is mine. Money, greed, lack, poverty, not sharing. That's really 3D. Okay? I mean, if you want to call it the old world and the new world, whatever you want to call it. But we are moving and to what is called 5D, new world. And every prophet, whoever's been talking about it, okay? The Bible's been talking about it, okay? That we are moving to a new world, to a new consciousness, to a new way of being, where instead of the currency being so much money and greed and hoarding and selfishness, where we're moving to love and working together. All right. And everybody says they want it, but it seems like nobody actually wants to do too much about it. And I'm speaking about a collective in a whole now. Okay. All of us as humans, all of us, myself included, all of us. Okay. We are moving to a different way of being, okay? To a different way of operating, away from the money and the greed. We are moving to love. We are beginning to see things for what they actually are. And we are strongly waking up. But what happens is the mind is not something that likes to change too much, you know. And this is why, as a regression hypnotist, you know, why hypnosis works so well. Because you go straight into the subconscious mind. What is not working? Let's change those mindset. Boom, 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 things change. But as a whole, as a collectiveness in a conscious mind, we don't like change. We like to hold on to things. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be a narcissistic situation, it could be an abusive situation, it can be lack, whatever it is. We like to hang on to things because our mind like what is familiar. It is what it is. Okay, but and so sometimes for us to move away from one way of being to another way of being, the measurements need to be kind of drastic. And at this particular point in time, the question, what is today, the 17th of March in South Africa, 17th of March 2020, here's the question. What will you choose? Will you choose love or will you choose hatred? Will you choose to be part of the solution or will you rather choose to remain in your own little bubble, me and I? As long as I'm okay, as long as my family's okay. Okay, we don't seem to understand that we are all family. We are all family. We are all souls having a human being experience. As I said in my video that I put up yesterday, that we can learn so much from a flock of baboons. We will call baboons unruly, undisciplined, all those many things. They're quite cute as well, but they can be wild. I'm from the country. I know they can be wild, you know. But if a baboon comes, for example, across your land of pumpkins or orange trees or whatever it is, they're not going to grab five and like hide it away for themselves before anybody else sees us. They're going to call everybody. The whole pack's going to be there, okay? And everybody's going to enjoy the feast. There's this really incredible series on Netflix called Night on Earth that I really enjoy watching. That shows you how nature works together with, you know, with the universe, with the heavens, because we are all one. And I was so touched by this one. If I remember correctly, it was a pack of young cubs, lions, and you know they were still learning how to hunt, and they were not so good at it, and they would go hungry, and they were probably going to die. And then so there was one lion that realized that these dudes has got it a little bit hot here. They're probably not going to make it. And so that one would then pull away from the pack, individually go and hunt, and then come back and share the hunt with the pack. Okay? It only makes sense for us to share. As this enlightened species that we love to call ourselves, so clever, humans know everything. For such an enlightened species, we appear to be very stupid at times, very short-sighted, very narrow-minded. Okay? This is a time, my people, to really pull together. This is the time to pull together in love, to pull together in harmony, to pull together and ask ourselves, how can we help each other? As far as I know, this is the first time, I may be wrong, it's not the point. As far as I know, this is the first time in a very long time that we've got an international threat that is threatening everybody. This thing can take humans out, okay? Or a lot of us out. So the question is, in the face of this adversity, what will we choose? Will we choose to come together and ask how can we help each other? How can we support each other? Or will we revert straight back to the 3D mentality of, yeah, your problem, my problem, okay? My stuff, your stuff. Because that's not going to take us very far. It hasn't taken us very far for a long time. It's like something that I always explain to people, and let's just take 3D mentality versus 5D mentality. Somewhere in the world, I can't remember where it is. It's either happening or it's a good idea to plant a lot of fruit trees along the way, and then whoever doesn't have food, you can just kind of walk past. Whoever feels like an apple, an orange, or whatever you feel like, you can just pick it off. And I said, oh my goodness, this is such a brilliant idea. And people are like, it's never going to work. And what about the farmers? They will lose their money. And it's just never going to work. People will steal the trees to do what with them? If everybody has them, who's going to buy them? Okay. But and then we ask, why do we have so much crime? Because people are hungry. You know, people's families are hungry, their children are hungry. How much would you do to feed your family? It's the same question. If we just share, then nobody needs to steal your stuff because you're sharing. Let's face it, a lot of people are stealing because they need to feed themselves and their family. And since we're talking about stealing, in the same token, if everybody stops buying stolen stuff, nobody's going to steal anything. Nobody's going to steal 20 television sets and have them in their house. It's 3D mentality. I never understand this. I go around in, South Africa that is supposed to be a very awoke sort of nation. We call ourselves awoke. Um, but so many people will buy something, I don't know, whatever. You come across whatever and you're like, oh my goodness, it's such a bargain. I bought this for like, such a low rate. Like, say, for example, this set of sunglasses. I got them and they were so cheap and they're these originals and what a bargain. It's not a bargain. Those things were stolen. And you know that they were stolen. So we are helping in many forms, not just in South Africa, in the world. We are helping the situation towards the negative. There is a 3D mentality. That is what we're busy moving away from. Okay? And I'm not saying that we should be completely flippant about things. There is still precautions, there's still responsibility that you need to take. All right, as I said earlier on, please understand that even though you may survive, your actions may be detrimental to others. Okay? But when we're going to go into this complete fear mentality of like, ooh, I must only protect me and my little community, that is fear mentality. And that is literally the opposite of love. You may think that your actions are from love. They are not. Because love doesn't know limits. I can understand that your family is precious and important to you, and your loved ones are important to you, and your animals and your children and your older ones and your spouses and whatever partners are important to you. Of course they are. But it is the idea that we see our family as just those people that are us, our little people that we know. It's the thing that we don't have a problem with anybody else quite close to us dying from starvation, not having any sort of cover. The fact that we're okay with that. Okay? And I'm not saying that you must invite strangers into your house. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we can all do something to help. All of us. And the question is, as we move from the 3D to the 5D reality, because remember, not all change is all that positive in the beginning. Sometimes things is very positive, but at the time it doesn't seem that way. Because we are creatures of habit. We don't like change. And even for those of you that may want to help and don't know how, I am pretty certain if you put a post out on something like Facebook or your WhatsApp or whatever, Instagram, your community page, whatever the case may be, and you ask, how can I help? How can I assist? What do you need? You might not need to physically go there. All right? But let's be honest about things. Let's be very honest about things. And many people won't like it if I say this. You don't need to have a couple of million and a couple of billion, rands, dollars, euros, pounds, whatever your frequency is in the works. You don't need to have, it doesn't make sense for you to sit with that money while there are other people that are dying. It doesn't make sense for you to sit with a house that is packed to capacity with toilet paper and water and all kind of perishables and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense for you to have all of that when people around you don't have it, because the people around you that don't have it, they're going to either want to come and take it from you, and when people become desperate, they become violent, okay, or they're going to be affected by everything else that you in your ignorant little mind think that you are protecting yourself from. You're not. Okay. We are It's easy for us to place ourselves in our homes and to self quarantine and to sanitize, and those are all very good things to do. Okay, it's much better than sitting at a coffee shop and pretending nothing's wrong. I looked out my window yesterday and there was a lady sitting outside with a baby smoking outside on the pavement in a country where the president said, "Guys, don't go out if you don't need to." I mean, I was like, what? Okay, but who will, let's think about it, who will the virus get first? It will be the street people. It will be the people without shelter. It will be the people with the weak immune systems. It will be the people that the businesses force to go to work, so they have to take buses and they have to take trains. And they have to go to shops to buy lunch because they don't have enough money to stock up for 6 months. Those are the people, the ones that a lot of us as humans are excluding from our thinking, what we would call rational thinking. I mean, you might want to rethink rational. Those are the people that will spread a virus. And here's a newsflash for all: it is an airborne virus. It's not like HIV, for example, where there needs to be physical contact. You know, all those big influenzas that used to be in history back in the time? We live in a world where we travel all over with trains and buses and all this type of stuff. Okay? So, many of you may agree with what I say, and many of you might not agree with what I say. But think about it like this: what do you really think is the solution for us right now as we make this transition from 3D to 5D? From fear, from hatred, from scarcity to love, to abundance, to prosperity. What do you think is the most rational thing to do? What do you think is the most logical thing to do? What do you think is going to be the solution that is going to get us all through this period? Is it going to be to pull yourself into a little corner where it's just me, I, me, I, me, I? Or is it if you're going to get into a mindset of even just open your mind to the idea already that maybe I should do something to help? What can I do? Because that is how we can overcome almost absolutely anything. It's time for us to change our mindset to become more enveloping. Okay? Since I spoke about HIV, I personally know people who are HIV positive, who do not go for treatment. It's free. It will prolong your life. It's easy to get it, but they don't take it. You know why? Because we are judging each other. We are we are not self-accepting. We don't come from love. We don't come from love. As a general, as a whole, as a humanity. Okay? So, do what we can, and together, I personally believe we can all get through the whole coronavirus thing in a way that will serve everybody better. Because here's the thing: if we don't listen this time around, life must need to speak a little bit louder. Okay? We have been ignorant, and I would even say disrespectful towards life and towards this planet that we are living on for a long, long time. Do you imagine that maybe the planet is becoming tired of us? Because when you really think about it, what is the problem? What is really the problem with planet Earth? It's us. It's humans. So since we're the problem, maybe we should also be the solution. Okay. I thank you so much for your time. I thank you for your energy. I'm Adrian H. Nelson. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner. I live in Cape Town in South Africa. I am going to go back now to record the rest of my weekly tarot readings for all the zodiac signs. I did 4 yesterday, and I'll do the rest today. Thanks so much. Namaste. Love and light.